This is Nathan and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to continue taking a look at a scenario where civilization restarts. Episode 45. In this episode we're going to be watching and seeing the aftermath of World War III, the Eurasian Clash, and seeing how certain countries react to, the loss of Korea and the Central Asian Union. And we're going to see the world enter a new phase. I don't know if I have decided yet. I don't know, I will make a post, but I don't know what to name the server, but I have got some ideas. But, today we're going to be taking a look at the Alliance layer and seeing how that's developed. The nuclear doesn't exist anymore. All nukes are destroyed in World War III. Like, every single nuke was destroyed. But we're going to be taking a look, first we're going to be taking a look at the Alliance map. Mostly because, the Heart Alliance, it still exists. Now, the countries I'm coloring here, other countries are still in it. So, Russia and the Ottomans, they're still in it. They're, like, the main core allies. But the red team is still in it. That was allowed. I'm sorry if you heard that. The red team is still in it. But the difference is, the Algerians and the chocolate team are not. They have left. The blue team, still in it, but they're honestly on the edge about leaving. And same goes for the Persians. They're in it, but they're on the fence of leaving. This is what the Heart Alliance looks like. They've lost a couple of members, but they're still strong. But we need to talk about, one of these members. We're going to get back to the Alliance map later. Russia. Now, unlike the Lion team, they were nuked bad. Like, they got nuked bad. And Russia is definitely feeling the side effects of the nuclear radiation and all that. And safe to say, Russia's not in a good state. To begin with, I'm just going to be straight up honest, their capital is not this anymore. There's no way that capital would be able to function. So they're going to have to move their capital, which is going to be a very big pain in the butt. So where are they moving it? Well, they're going to move it to over here. But, the problem is, Russia is just that they're not in a good state. The nukes weren't so... The nukes were as strong as the ones dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Maybe a bit weaker than them, but even then, getting hit by like 15 or 20 of them, and again, your capital nuke definitely still hurt the Russians. And, they're gonna have to give up some land. They're gonna have to release some countries, because they simply just can't keep control of all their land. Begin with, Poland is making their return yet again. They will not be gaining land, they will not be losing land, but Poland will be making their return yet again. I swear, Poland has made their return like multiple times. It's just like real life. Poland makes their return, and Russia had to sacrifice this. There was no choice. And now Russia's going to have to make a really big release. They're going to have to release a huge chunk of land over here. Now, what colour should this be? We have a lot. What colour do we not have? We don't have a lot of purple over here. Russia will be releasing a ton of land, but it's gonna have to be made. They're gonna be releasing a huge country over here. We have a new huge country being formed over here, but Russia had to make sacrifice. And we have Russia trying to keep control of what they have left, but they're still struggling even with all this land left. Capital of this country, right here. And I just realised. Yeah, we'll fix that later. Now, what about for the Cross Alliance? It got disbanded. Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. It just can't exist. Like, no, none of the countries from that alliance really exist anymore. For the Circle Alliance, we are actually going to see that this thing is still a thing, as the only 3 members in it now are China, Siberia, and the Green Team. And the leader of this thing is, Siberia, because I would say they're probably the strongest country, maybe not strongest. They're definitely the leader of it, though. Sorry. And for the other economic alliances, they still exist. They haven't gone anywhere. So the Square Alliance, that still exists. And the Northern African Economic Alliance, that still exists as well. So these economic alliances still exist. I don't know if I'm forgetting anyone. Oh, that is not right. So here's our alliance map. There are definitely a lot of alliances gone, but a lot of alliances still remain existing. But to begin with, we are now going to enter the third economic depression of the world. Yeah, it was about time. The world will crash into its third economic depression as, well, without the Central Asian Union, Korea, which was the biggest exporter in the world just crashes. The economy crashes, and the Ottomans are like, oh crap. So the Ottomans, with the Russians being crippled, are going to have to take control of everything. They're now the strongest country in the world. Oh, we should probably do rankings this video. Should we do rankings? I think we should. The Ottomans are the strongest country in the world. And they never really won that title. For a good reason. The Ottomans just wanted to be strong. They didn't want to be the strongest country in the world, because they didn't want everyone to rely on them. But now that they're the strongest country in the world, there's no avoiding that. Like, everyone's going to be relying on you, and a lot of countries are relying on them for, like, money. Africa is suffering. They are, like, really suffering from this. The Americas are fine. They weren't really involved in the war. But, like, Russia, for example, they're struggling. The chocolate team is struggling. North Africa is struggling. Middle East is struggling. But, the Lion Team, the Ottomans, I don't know what do you want to call them, the Ottomans or the Lion Team, them, the Russians, the Blue Team and Persians, and the Red Team need to all come together, and need to figure out one of the biggest mysteries of World War III. Why did Korea join the side of Central Asian Union, but then nuke the rebels in the end? So, they head over here to the capital, and, well, Korea as a whole, and they also like going to North Korea, and they start searching, and they find documents of Operation Domination, and once they start reading these things, all hell breaks loose within the minds of these countries, because they learn a lot of stuff about what Korea's plan was. It is found that Korea was the reason of the death and assassination of the leader in the Central Asian Union. The assassin who killed the leader of the Central Asian Union was no other than was none other than the Vice President of Korea. So, the Vice President of Korea was the one who assassinated the leader of the Central Asian Union. And the Koreans were basically puppeting the Central Asian Union to use as a thing against Russia and the Ottomans, because the Ottomans were the biggest threat of Korea. But they kept positive relations with them. And when World War III started to come along, they were the reason for the war in Europe. They meddled within the Green Team's government, which led to the Green Team invading the Chocolate Team. They didn't control anything else. They just through some propaganda and maybe put a leader in place who was probably pro-Korean. And for the assassination of the other Central Asian Union leader and Russia, they were responsible for the assassination of the Russian leader, but for the other Central Asian Union leader, that was out of their control. They didn't do anything about that. So that is still a mystery. So the Ottomans are like, oh dang. And they keep reading, and they figure out that Operation Domination was meant to eliminate the Central Asian Union. The plan was originally to nuke the Central Asian Union, but the plan failed because the Central Asian Union collapsed. It didn't fail, but the Central Asian Union collapsed, so they still nuked the rebels because they didn't want a strong enough force, teaming up with the Lion Team. Then the next plan was to nuke the Ottomans and the Russians. They were to unload all their nuclear supplies to destroy all nuclear weapons that the Russians and Ottomans had. That was the plan. Obviously, that backfired, and they got absolutely destroyed by the Lion Team. But this definitely scares the Ottomans. They look at this and go, yeah, that's not good. They see that Korea wanted to dominate the world. That was the plan of Korea. They wanted to dominate the world. They wanted to be the ruler of the world. They want everything in the palm of their hand. And they failed. Korea failed. They weren't successful. But the Ottomans are kind of like, okay, we can't exactly have another world war happen. And the Ottomans are beginning a project with their alliance, which nobody knows of yet. People know it's in works, but nobody knows what it is. But anyway, let's take a look at some wars, because the studio has had no wars other than capture Russia. We're coming straight to India. Oh, I cut them in. And that's because they're expanding. And, would you look, and, who would you know they're expanding into? The Turquoise team. Yep. Revenge is on their mind, and they push into the Turquoise team, taking the capital and capitulating the Turquoise team really quickly. This was a short war. Nobody cared about it, because simply it was just out of their control. Nobody really cared anything about it. And just like that, the Turquoise team is gone. Now, I have seen, a lot of some people saying, I have no mercy on the older countries because I'm killing them off and I don't let them live. History never, a country shouldn't exist because they're old. I just want to point that out. A country shouldn't exist because they're old. I don't have favourites. I do have favourites in this series, but I go against those favourites. I don't plot armor the favourites. The Central Asian Union was one of my favourites, but, I couldn't keep them around forever. There was no point. You can't keep old countries around forever. I hope that is something you guys learn. Just because this whole series still has so many of the old countries, I hope you know that my series is not going to be like that. You will probably see a lot of old countries getting killed off here and there. And I don't care. Honestly. I don't care enough to care. But anyway, we're going to come over here to the Iberian Peninsula. And it's because we're actually seeing a union forming. Now, I don't know when the last time a union formed, but two countries have been working together very, very closely, and they've been having good relations. And that is the dark blue team and the purple team. And they've been working together very closely, and they've decided that they're going to unite. Now, it's interesting in uniting, but the people are uniting because the people are very united and it's better for the country. So not too long after World War III, we had the first peaceful union taking place, which is between the dark purple team and the blue team, which nearly unites all of Iberia. They just need the burgundy team, who definitely ain't going to join an alliance or anything like that. But now, speaking of the alliance layer, the chocolate team is going to form an alliance. Now, I don't know Now, like, it's not going to have many people joining it. It's going to be the Cross Alliance, not the same Cross Alliance. But the countries that are joining it will be the Burgundy team and the newly released Purple team. That's it. That's all the countries that are joining. And it's kind of like an economic and a military alliance. It's kind of a bit of both, which is interesting. But at this point, one of the Line Team's plans has just been kicked into action. They have formed the Rectangle Alliance. A new economic alliance which is going to hopefully unite the world, which is hopefully going to unite their allies. And oh boy, do they get a lot of people who want to join this. For the beginning, Russia joins it. We also see the red team, the blue team, Persia, and the red team join it. Now, this is a lot of countries, and for good reason. All these countries are very peaceful with each other. I'd like to point that out. All these countries are very peaceful with each other. They don't really have any hostile relations. All the countries here are very united, and an economic alliance is needed because the world is not in a good state. This is the worst economic depression the world has faced. But, an the economic alliance has some very powerful countries in it. The blue team, Ottomans, and the Russians. I don't think I'm going to do rankings in this video. I'm going to do rankings next video. But for our final event of the video, we have the Mexicans invading the rest of Yucatan. Yeah, these two still have beef, and, they didn't really want to they didn't really want to make tensions in North America during World War III, but, they're now fighting each other, and let's just say the Yucatan country actually stands no chance. The Mexicans will just steamroll through them, and they literally just get steamrolled, like there's no hope. They lose the capital and they surrender, and in honesty, in the peace treaty, it may not happen, but we're going to say that they get fully annexed. I know, we're in the economic depression, that countries shouldn't really be fully annexing other countries, but let's say Mexico fully annex them. And just like that, that's going to do it for this video. Really enjoyed, and see you in the next one. Bye.